Moving along, moving along. Oops. Okay. So these two triangles are similar. Oh yeah, I like this question. All right, these two triangles are similar. And I'm going to do partners real quick because I get kind of confused. So for example, ED is right here, ED. So I know it's partners with JI. So I'm going to put a heart around Y and JI is here. So those two are partners. BC, these two are partners with GH. So BC, this 10 is partnered with GH. I'm going to put a circle around that. So it looks like my 15 is partners with the X. I'm going to put a star on this. This will be my top, my pre-image, and this will be my image. And it says these two things are similar, so I know everything about this pentagon is proportional. All right, so what is the value of X? So X is partners with 15, and I want to put 15 on top. So 15, because I have my star here. You don't have to do it this way, but this is how I do it. So 15 goes with X. And then instead of picking Y, because that's another variable, I'm going to pick the 10. All right? So 10 on top, 12 on the bottom. 10 is partners with 12. And then you just cross multiply. So you do 12 times 15, and then divide it by that 10. So 12 times 15 is 180. And then when you divide by 10, you'll get that X equals 18. Oh no, my X is late. Okay, there you go. X equals 18. Alright, now let's do Y. So I'm going to pick Y. Y is partners with Y plus 1.5. That's fine because they're the same variable. And then I'm going to pick my 10 and 12 again. Alright, and cross multiply. Alright, so this is a little bit trickier, cross multiplication. This is where a lot of students are going to mess up. When you cross multiply this one, 10 has to be multiplied by both. Okay, so you do 10 times y and get 10y. And you do 10 times 1.5, all right? So 10 times 1.5 is 15. So a lot of students are going to go like this, but that is incorrect. You have to write 15. Equal sign, and then the other diagonal, 12 times y, is 12y. Alright, so I'm looking at my 10y and 12y, and I'm asking myself if they're friends or enemies. They are enemies. They're on different sides, and the 10 is going to lose. Alright, so the 15 drops. 12y minus 10y is 2y. Alright, y is married to 2. Let's get a divorce with 2. So y is going to end up being 7.5. 15 divided by 2. Alright, moving along. Number 52, or 51, 52, and then we're done with this unit. I'm moving kind of fast because I want this video to just be one video. So number 51, determine the height of the tree. It looks like these are 90 degrees. They didn't write it, but trees and grounds have to make a 90 degree like that. Not in real life. Sometimes trees do come out at an angle, but in this problem, I think it's fair to assume that it is 90 degrees. Whenever I see a small triangle and a big triangle, I always draw it out. Okay, so you have a small triangle, 5, 9, right angle there. And you have a big triangle, H, 90. And in this huge triangle, this is not 135. It is 135 with the 9. So 135 plus 9 is 144. All right, this is where everyone messes up. We know these two triangles are similar. So it says determine the height of the tree. So H is partners with 5, and 144 is partners with 9. I'm going to put this on top. So H on top with the 5. 144 on top with the 9, and cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply 144 times 5. Divide it by the leftover 9. And get that H is 3. Alright, B. Determine the distance from the tip of the sun's shadow to the top of the tree. Okay, so here's the top of the tree. Here's the tip of the sun's shadow. So they just want to know how long this is. So that's part of the big triangle. So I'm going to put an X right there. And I knew that H was 80. So I'm going to make, so that's 80, 144. So h was 80. This is 144. It's a right triangle. This has nothing to do with angles. I'm just trying to find x. So I'm going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, x is my loner because it's across the 90 degree. So 80 squared, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. X squared's already alone, so I'm just going to put this whole thing in my calculator. 80 squared plus 144 squared equals 27136. So 27136 equals x squared. To get rid of a square, you square root. The square root of 27,136 is 164. And I like 2 decimals, so 0.73 equals x. Right. So what we just used was Pythagorean theorem, and you can only use Pythagorean theorem on right triangles. All right, last one in this section. Draw examples of two triangles that are similar by each one. So for similar, I really like my 90, 60, 30. So I'm just going to draw two similar triangles for all of these. Like this. So these are not congruent. They are similar. Do another one. All right, they're all similar. So the first one, they want it similar by side, side, side. Okay, so I'm not going to touch any of the angles. So let's say this was 10, and my scale factor was a half, then this would be 5. Okay. So this would be 5. Let's say this was 12, then divide by 2, that would be 6. And let's say this was 16, and that this was 8. I'm not going to put a 90 degree there, because I don't actually think that's true. But anyway, so sides are all proportional, and you can see I just divided by 2. So my scale factor would be 0.5, 1 divided by 2. All right, 2 by 8a. So let's put an angle. So let's put a 90 here. There's one angle, and let's put a 60 there. That's 2 angles. All done, A. All right, C, side, angle, side. So as you can see, the sides are the hardest because you want them to be proportional. So let's make this 10 again and divide by 2, that's 5. And let's make this 12 again and divide by 2, that's 6. So the sides are proportional. And this angle in between needs to be the same. So let's pick the 90. 90 and 90. So that's side, angle, side, side, angle, side. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, bye-bye.